What's up, y'all? Let me hit up the Discord. How have you been? What is up? What have you been doing? Alright, what are we looking for? Show me my chat. Let's not do chat too. Let's just do chat. Good enough. Alright, we're just gonna try some stuff today. A bit of an experimental stream. Should be fun. Not exactly sure what we're doing, but let's give it a shot. Let's... Oh. That was a mistake. Got some food on the way. Let's go! Not everyone. Let's go. I hear you, kitty cat, but we're gonna eat at the same time. Eat at the same. Any chatters in here today? What's up, Mookie? Yeah, I'm trying some new stuff tonight. I'm just trying to get something right now. My chat's not working. I can see it on screen, but I'm not getting it in my OBS. How are you, Mookie? How are you, loves? Can you hear the microphone? I'm trying some things. Waiting on a food delivery. We gonna be snacking on stream. Taking it easy. Probably not. We might do some drawing tonight, but maybe not. Just gonna hang out for a second. Can't figure out quite what's up with my chat here. But need a real computer tech to take a look, see if they. Oh, hush. Like that. Like, yeah. Like Derek's the fucking computer guru. That dude's more unk than I am. What's been up, Mookie? You been writing? How's Derek's streams been? I've got a special little surprise I've been working on. I'm trying to work on tonight. Also got some grub going on. Get a second, Mookie. Hop on over to the YouTube and like the YouTube video over there. Give me some comments in YouTube land. If you don't mind, sir. Please. Still looking mighty. Newspaper office, wrapping things up for the night. Nice. Well, I'll give you some. I know why it looks so. It's just sharp because of this lens. Yo, what's up, Storm Chaser? How are you? What's going on? Storm Chaser in the room. We got Mookie in the room. I will remind you, if you're on Twitch, we are live on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, we are also live on Twitch. So if you not quite sure where the chat is coming from, maybe we should go ahead and put let's put that secondary chat up as well. That way everybody can see what's happening. Oh, pretty good. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. You know, I've been taking it easy. I say taking it easy. Just we haven't done taking it easy on stream. Instead of doing some vertical drawings or whatever. Maybe we still will, but I'm just we're just chilling. We're just gonna do a little chilling. So, how you feel about that? Has anybody got any new art, any new music, anything like that they want to chat about? Probably get rid of the take it out on our bug. Yeah, we're just doing a little chilling today. We might watch some stuff on the internet. Get into the groove, my friend. Get into the groove. We're just hanging out. You know what we could do? Let me check. Are you ready for this, Mookie? Storm Chaser, y'all ready for the unveiling? Are y'all ready for the unveiling? You ready for this? Do you see what this is? Do you see what this is? We got Mookie. Mookie's from YouTube. But where are we at, Mookie? Mookie's everywhere. Mookie's in the cheap seats. Mookie's in the expensive seats. Mookie takes advantage of his options here. Yeah. I guess I could put these chats in the green screen. That would be fun too, right? Let me see if I can do that. Take this. I'll take this. And then we gotta go chat here. Okay, all right. So let's see if I can get this working. That's what we're doing. We're just trying. We're just trying stuff. Uh-oh. My YouTube videos. There's the chat. There's the chat. But we got a browser back here too, so I can also run the browser. Is this fun? Or have I gone too far? That's pretty fun. Am I wrong? This is fun. But I was thinking, let's get the chast back. And what we have here, the suspect situation here, oh, gone, is that we can watch a YouTube. Well, supposed to be able to watch YouTubes. So that's what we're doing. There we go. This is tough. Guess maybe you do it in a regular browser first. I'm so hungry. I was thinking like, alright. Why is it so slow? That is garbage. OBS is garbage sometimes. Try this. Well, I had some cool stuff set up, but while I'm on stream, it don't look like it's gonna work. Oh, oh. Maybe it's just because my internet's slow. You ready for this? Of course it doesn't work.
Remarkable talent began to truly emerge. Take these two drawings from 1892, when Pablo was just 11. Even at that age, his work displayed a level of skill that most adults would envy. Yet this was only the beginning. During their time in A Corinna, an incident occurred that would forever change the dynamic between father and son. One day, Pablo's father walked in on him painting over one of his old unfinished sketches of a pigeon. What he saw shook him. The precision, the technique, and the confidence with which Pablo handled the brush left his father feeling inadequate. At just 13, Pablo had already surpassed his father's artistic ability. Overcome with a sense of defeat, his father vowed to never paint again. Though that promise didn't last long. Within a few years, he was back painting his pigeons and doves. In 1895, following the death of his sister Conchita, the family relocated to Barcelona, where Pablo's father had secured a new position at the School of Fine Art. Barcelona's vibrant energy resonated with Pablo, who quickly felt at home in the bustling city. His father, eager to advance his son's education, convinced officials at the Barcelona School of Fine Arts to allow Pablo to take the entrance exam for the advanced class, something he wasn't old enough for yet. The exams required painting typically took older students a month to complete, but 13-year-old Pablo finished it in just a week. His work left the jury in awe, and he was admitted to the class without hesitation. Pablo struggled with discipline as a student, often finding it hard to follow even basic instructions. But his creative genius was undeniable. Here we can see examples of his work from 1895. Even at this early stage, his talent was unmistakable, evident in several landscapes and numerous portraits. Then, in 1896, he produced a series of paintings that took his work to the next level. No longer just a child with talent, but a genuine artist whose work demanded attention. Here we can see a self-portrait he painted when he was just 15. It brilliantly captures his likeness. You can really start to see his artistic confidence growing. In that same year, 1896, Pablo completed his first large-scale oil painting, titled First Communion. A religious work, it depicts a pivotal moment in a young Catholic girl's life, something one might expect from a traditional Spanish painter, but not the style Picasso would later become known for. The figures in the painting are modeled after his family, the kneeling girl his younger sister, while the man and the woman in the background represent his parents. It was his father who encouraged him to create the piece, and it was displayed at the Exhibition of Fine Arts in Barcelona that same year. The following year, in 1897, 16-year-old Pablo was sent to the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Madrid, the most prestigious art school in Spain. While the institution was highly respected, Pablo quickly realized that its rigid structure and formal instructions didn't suit him. He rarely attended classes, preferring to spend his time at the National Art Museum, where he studied and copied works by masters like Rembrandt, Vermeer, El Greco, and Goya. His passion for learning from the greats was evident, but the traditional academic path just wasn't for him. After less than a year, he returned to Barcelona, uninterested in completing the formal course in Madrid. Pablo was never one to conform to established routines, but he was determined to forge his own path. 1898 marks the moment he started signing his work Pablo Ruiz Picasso. Previously he just went by Pablo Ruiz, but here we start to see him using that now legendary last name, Picasso. In 1899, Picasso met Carles Casames, a fellow Spanish painter and poet. The two quickly became friends, bonding over their shared passion for art and their mutual desire for a carefree, bohemian lifestyle. Casames, a year older than Picasso, was well connected thanks to his father's position at the American consulate in Barcelona. Together, the two young men traveled across Spain and shared an art studio in Barcelona, exchanging ideas and inspiring each other's creativity. In this portrait from 1899, you can see how Picasso captured Cassamez's likeness. In the year 1900, the duo embarked on a trip to Paris, which at the time was the epicenter of the art world, immersing themselves in the vibrant Parisian culture. While in Paris, Cassamez became infatuated with a Moulin Rouge dancer named Germaine. His love for her was all-consuming. He craved her attention and affection. At times, she entertained his advances. At others, she ignored him completely.
Mookie, do you like
him
Picasso's work?
emotionally unstable. In 1901, Picasso painted his first Harlequin, a colorful and mischievous figure from Italian theater. The Harlequin, a symbol of trickery and transformation, would become a recurring motif in Picasso's work. He returned to the figure over and over again throughout his life, portraying Harlequins in various artistic styles. There was something about the unpredictable, shape-shifting nature of the Harlequin that resonated deeply with Picasso's own sense of identity and artistry. On the 17th of February 1901, Cassamez hosted a dinner at the Hippodrome Café in Paris. Picasso wasn't present, he was back in Spain, but many of their mutual friends attended, including Germaine. After the meal, Cassamez made a desperate declaration of love, proposing to Germaine. She rejected him. Humiliated and heartbroken, Cassamez pulled out a gun. He attempted to shoot Germaine but missed. Then, in a moment of despair, he turned the gun on himself, ending his life. Picasso and Cassamez were inseparable, best friends who shared dreams of artistic greatness. When Picasso learned of Cassamez's tragic
I like
death,
Picasso. I hate
plunged
the
him
fact
into
that
a
he
deep
was such a
spiral
piece of
of
shit.
depression
He was a terrible
and
person.
despair. The weight of this loss seeped into his artwork, profoundly shaping his creative vision.
You know,
One
kind of annoying.
poignant example is Picasso's painting Death of Cassamez. It captures the emotional turmoil he felt during this dark period. In a twist of fate, just 3 months after Cassamez's death, Picasso and Germaine, Cassamez's former lover, entered into a brief relationship. Perhaps bound by the trauma they shared, Germaine would remain a figure in Picasso's life for years, even later modeling for some of his most iconic paintings. Out of this tragedy, Picasso's blue period
There's this
was
other
born.
YouTube
A defining era in
video. I
his
just picked the
artistic
first video
journey,
because I was
spanning
trying
from
to play with my
1901
green screen.
to
But there's this
1904.
one video.
Picasso's work during this time was dominated by shades of blue and blue-green, with each painting steeped in a somber, melancholic tone. You can see all of this captured in his self-portrait he painted in 1901. These years were far from glamorous for Picasso. He was desperately poor, living in squalor, constantly moving between Paris and Barcelona, never truly settling.
So we're gonna
The
try a
dark,
different.
brooding
I love this
themes
Picasso
and shades of
work,
cold
but,
blue were sparked by the
we're
death
just
of
playing with the green
Cassamez
screen
and
tonight.
lingered.
So I want to try this one. While we eat.
Recent photo books you picked up, and why? Like, why? What makes you buy a photo book?
Wait, let me think, because there's so many photo books that I want. But I've been resisting because I have a huge addiction, and I saw how much I spent on photo books last year, and I told myself I'm not gonna do that this year. I'll tell you photo books that I want.
Yeah.
I want Coming and Going by Jim Goldberg. I love that. I just feel like, I don't know, I love the idea of turning the lens on yourself and to talk to people. As time went by, eventually I had a camera. If you want somebody to open their heart to you, you have to open your heart to them. You're not gonna be taking good pictures and making your best work every day of your life. How did our paths cross? And it's because of this.
Yo, we're back with another episode of Walkie Talkie. Today I got Sarah. Sarah, what is up?
Hello.
Can you introduce yourself for the people that don't know who you are?
My name is Sarah Messenger, and I'm a photographer here in New York.
Where are we today?
We're in Washington Square Park, which is one of my favorite places in New York City. And I guess, I don't know, I would say it's kind of like where I started with photography. Yeah, that's why I wanted to start here. But when I first moved to New York in, I think it was January 2019, and I was going to school here, I would just like sit in Washington Square Park and people watch for hours and hours. And I was incredibly shy and did not know how to interact with the people around me. And I was just like watching, and you know, I wanted to talk to people. As time went by, eventually I had a camera, and I would come back here and I had my camera, and all of a sudden, like, it was like my superpower. Like, I felt, now I was empowered. Now I had reason to talk to people. And it got me out of my shell. I feel like I grew up with the camera, like in these past 3 years. So, yeah. And when I first started photographing, yeah, I don't know. I would talk to people sometimes, but I was really nervous, and I don't know. I would kind of like try to take a photo like quick and like walk away, because I was also like, this is street photography. Like, we can't talk to people. And there was kind of like this like ego in that.
You still come to this park like pretty often, like every day?
Not every day. I wish I could. I come here whenever I can. Honestly, I'm really always just walking between Washington Square Park and Tompkins Square Park. A lot of people don't like this park. I don't really agree with them. Of course, you have like tourists and like all the Instagrammers, and people are like, no, people are just like so self-aware and like trying to be seen. I don't know, but I feel like when you come to this park like often, like here in Tompkins, like there's a surface below that like, I don't know, like kind of like a sense of community. Like you see like the same people all the time, and like they know you can say hi, you can hang out.
Where was like your interest in photography? Because I know you moved here.
Where did it come from?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's what I was thinking about talking about. I feel like I flirted with photography for a very long time, is always what I say. I was always interested in photography. I was always interested in stories. I like where I went to college. Like there was a very cool program where I essentially got to make my own major, which was very funky. It's actually on the corner. I was very interested in photography, but I never thought like I can make those photos. I started taking a few photography classes that were like all for like non-majors. Started walking around with my camera, and I was like, okay, this is fun. And then COVID happened. Like I want to go and take pictures. I felt like history was kind of happening. Yeah. At that time. It was like you're just sitting on your phone and looking at everything that was happening, and I was like, I want to participate in this. I want to understand this also. Like I feel like photography is my way to understand what's going on in the world. And so when I moved back to New York, like July or August 2020, that was when I started going on these walks with my camera, like these 10-mile walks. Of course, I romanticized this idea of like, oh, I can be a photographer. More than anything, I was like kind of going through like a rough spot, like with loss of my family, and I don't know, a little depression. And photography was a form of meditation for me. And when I went out with my camera, it forced me to look at the world around me and be present. I started making friends on the street, and that's when like all the guys are going to Midtown, so I'm gonna go with them, right? And so I go to Midtown, and I felt like I had to prove myself. This was like, I don't know where my mind was, but I was like, oh, like I can get just as close to these people and not say anything and take their photo as these guys. I don't know, somewhere around that time I started also photographing on film. That also changed my vision, I guess. I don't know, I think I was like taking like hundreds of photos on a digital camera, and I was trying to construct the perfect photo, and there was no like reliance on your emotions and your feelings. Once I started taking photos on film, I felt like I was, you know, you're limited, you only have 36 frames. I was thinking more, or I was not thinking as much. I was like relying on my feelings, you know? And I remember getting like one of my first rolls of film back. I saw one image of this young boy, kind of like, it was like a portrait. I wasn't actually talking to him, but his eyes, there's just like, you can look into his eyes, and there's just like, there's this feeling. And that was the first time I ever like felt something with an image I took. And that felt like a turning point. And I was like, okay, like noted, and I still kept like going on these walks, being a little maybe confrontational or hiding a little bit. I remember I just like looked at all of my photos that I had taken at one point, and I was like, these all suck. These are all terrible. And I came back to that like one portrait that I had taken of the boy on the street in South Williamsburg, and I go, this is what we're going for. I think also simultaneously, like, I discovered the work of Joseph Rodriguez, who's like one of the most like influential people in my life. I guess when I started getting to photography, his book Taxi just came out. People were talking about it, so I heard his name and I like really 6x6. I follow him on Instagram. I was like, there's something here. And then someone showed me Spanish Harlem by Joe, and I was like, that blew my mind. So I look up his name, and I was like, oh my God, this guy teaches at my school. I found Joe's email, sent him a little email, introduced myself. I was like, I know how to use a camera. I'm interested in this, this, and this. I would love to be in your class, and I guess there was room, so I got in. That really made a huge impact on me. And so I started photographing the South Williamsburg community, the Hasidic community there. That felt a bit personal to me. You know, I think in photography and trying to find your voice, like it's very important to like think about like who you are and like where'd you come from? What are your roots? How did that shape you? What are the things you now care about? I think that's like where you got to start when you're like, what am I going to photograph, right? And I was always interested in Jewish history, my family's history, and that world just reminded me of like the novels I would read about, you know, kind of like Jewish life, like in Europe before the war, whatever. And so that's what sparked that curiosity. So I was going to South Williamsburg and I was hiding a little bit, you know, taking photos on the street. It's a very closed off community. I was met with some hostility. I just realized I had to change my approach. And that's when I started, I would go there with a photo album of photographs I had taken there that are very positive. They show them in the best of ways. And I started having conversations with everybody that was photographing and explaining my intent and why I was there and why I was doing what I was doing and why I thought it was important. People were like, okay, I respect you, but don't take my picture. I think it's funny, like a lot of people are like, what do you say when someone's like, hey, why'd you take my picture? Why are you taking pictures? Or whatever, and they're like, you know, they get angry at you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, why did you? Like, what is your intent? Like, you're on the street with a camera. That's heavy. I don't know, there's a responsibility involved. And I think people are like, oh, I say this, I say that. It's like, no, like, speak from your heart. Why did you? And if you know, it happened so fast and you're just kind of reacting out of your subconscious, which is like the best, also one of the just most magical ways to photograph. Okay, but take a step back, think about it. Like, there's a look in their eye, something you can relate to. You know, if you're in a community documenting and photographing, why are you there? And you have to speak from your heart. I feel like
This could be kind of fun. Watching videos might slow the internet way down, but oh, maybe that's why, because this was still playing in the background. That's why the game was loading so slow. Well, how do we do this? So let's try this. Oh, what a picture to pause on. Oh well, that's right. Shut down source when not visible. All right, not visible. If we do like well, oh well, we got it working. That was our main goal. See if we get this green screen popping. And yes, we were, and I can see how it'll be fun. Very fun. We want to go meta. I got an idea. Hold on to your butts. Have I got an idea for you? If I go my channel, I go to live. Well, let's go to an old vertical. Maybe for fun. Where's one that's long? Doesn't matter. Good enough. If we take that. Here we go. That's fine. Inception. But we have a little bit of a lag happening, don't we? Wonder what causes that lag so bad. Because my internet sucks. Gotta be why. Come on, get to drawing, dude. All right, y'all. I hate to stream and leave, but we wanted to test some things. Well, how come I'm not seeing these, Yo, what's up, Grinch? What's up, Shibby? What's up, Cybernetic Fox? Oh, this is from something else, huh? I'm stupid. I'm looking at the. Okay, let's see if we can get this back. All right, so if I stop the YouTube's video, do we? Yep, no more lag, I guess, huh? Oh well, now we gotta figure it out. All right, y'all. Well, that was fun. We got the green screen working. Pretty cool. Well, okay, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.